Welcome to episode 4 on the Virtual Voices podcast. Your host, Streaks, and I have another new guest online for my podcast room. Are you ready? And I want you to come in. 1Z. 1Z's here to chill and hang out with us.
Hello.
They're definitely a little bean. I've met them for a little while. You're a bean. Awesome. All right, tell me 1Z, how's it going? How's it been? I haven't talked to you for a bit. How's it going?
Oh no, it's been doing all right. I've been doing all right, honestly, because it's mostly been crazy for me, especially how I deal with like IRL stuff and having to mixture both and for DJing as well, because I'm just been focusing more on DJing than now just IRL stuff at the moment.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. What you do.
Hey, I'm 1Z. I'm a multi-genre DJ though, actually. I've been DJing basically from mostly a lot of rave stuff, a lot of things of getting people hyped, to getting having to mix something more along like chill and more laid back, hanging out with friends and stuff like that.
And what brought you to becoming a DJ? How did it start?
Well, the idea from how I started was basically to the fact that I wanted to DJ ever since I was a kid. What's grew that spark of me was when I was like 12 years old, and you know how we kids are when we see something we wanted to go ahead and start to achieve it and stuff like that.
Oh, ways.
Yeah, it's with the same thing with me, but for DJing, because I've always had a really, really passion for music, of a lot of placings, a lot of things.
And when was the age when you started out DJing, or when you started getting into music?
Well, I started really getting into DJing in general, like 2.5 years ago, because it was basically during the time when I hardly have anything, or I was in some sort of struggle with myself, of just having to have at least motivation and to at least keep me motivated in life, until I started DJing, and I've basically fell in love with it ever since.
What was your first kind of track of DJing? What was it was a hip hop? Was it like R&B?
It was mostly the more popular songs, what was it, just back then Swedish House Mafia,
okay.
older David Guetta's music, stuff like that. People will call it top 40s in these days. So
top 40s, that's it.
I was your top 40s DJ. So
hey, there we go, top 40s DJ. It's where it's at. You start where you start, and from the progression of where you started from, how long did that take to get you where you're at now?
It took a while. It took a while to realize of the space of where I'm at, and having to have the motivation of wanting to DJ in that area. But there's specific types of atmosphere that you gotta have to feel the crowd. So basically if it's more of just the underground type of scene, I basically go for more out of the ordinary underground music and stuff like that. But if it's more of the bigger room and people wanted to be hyped up, then that's what I also usually play. It's more hyped up stuff.
If you how long did it take you as a DJ? I know it was a long time, but what are the numbers? 4 years, 6 years?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. 2 days ago. Okay. And you started as a DJ how long ago?
Um, so I started DJing um like two and a half.
Sorry. Keep going on. You're good.
Like two and a half when I think there was like also during the time when COVID was hitting as well. It was basically during the time when also just a lot of people were getting on, and like just and I've seen other inspirations of like how other other people do DJing and VR chat and stuff like that, and I'm just like I also want to do that, because that also brings back when I was a kid that passion of wanting to start DJing, and
Yeah.
it's been my passion ever since.
Most definitely. That's where we all start at. We start from somewhere and we get somewhere, like everyone else does. And it takes only little by little to get what everybody needs, is either knowledge, encouragement, or even some enthusiasm to even go to a concert or go to a DJ set and just be like, man, this is probably one of the craziest things that I've heard, but let me run myself into the mix. And it just takes ups and downs. It takes curiosity. It takes a lot of just like empathy for yourself to get yourself into a situation of bringing the crowd to your feet, and then realizing, man, this was probably one of the most amazing experiences, to realize that you've accomplished something, which you've opened up another goal.
Yeah, and that's what really makes me happy, honestly. I mean, I've like just going to also like same thing back, just going to different places and feeling the vibe of the atmosphere of just different places, and I just even challenging myself. Yeah, I've always loved.
Who's your first kind of, I guess, like DJ? I guess after this would continue. Sorry, I interrupted. I thought.
Oh no. But like I always just like to just challenge myself, though. Just challenge myself, just to be a the better person of who I am right now.
Most definitely. We always challenge ourselves to get us where we're at. And you know what? When you brought the challenge to yourself, who did you, I guess, liked a lot from like the DJ kind of scene, and you were like, I want to be just like this one. I want to be like, show me like who inspires you as a DJ?
Well, if you're going to that, then the issue with that is that there's a lot of people that gave me inspirations of why I wanted to DJ, because it's one of those things where it's like I see them having fun, and also not only that, the crowd having fun, and to the point where it's just like I want to do that.
Most definitely.
That is.
We're talking about it from a virtual reality standpoint, yeah. But like, IRL standpoint, what is your who, it could be Skrillex, Marshmello, like anybody, like from you that you think is a really good DJ, you're like, man, this DJ is just, oh my god, they make my life come to like a journey to like as a DJ now, and they're just like inspiration. Who's the first to you as inspiration?
Well, mostly my first was David Guetta.
What got you inspired with him?
Well, when the early the 2010, like the 2010s and the early the late 2000s came around, there was one song that came into mind, and he did one with Kid Cudi, and that song in general, like, just I was just, that was like one of my like favorite songs of all time, like just hands down. Even when I was back when I was a kid, I just started. I would just start jamming every time I hear the song.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And then now, out of curiosity, now how do I say this in a placement of like, when you talked about yourself in the IRL scene, I mean in the scene of becoming a DJ and talk about your experiences, what brought you to where you at now from like the VR stuff, and were you expecting to become a DJ? There's two questions in there, but like what brought you into VR chat? First, let's go with that. What brought you into VR chat?
Well, what brought me here is having to just like, well, I would say it's just one of those things where it's just like I wanted to meet new people and experience like something different, because I grew up I grew up in I grew up in a small town, and I wanted to basically I never really socialized with like a lot of people in my area, since I'm not much of a sociable person. Yeah, and a go-getter. And then I came here, and I feel like I'm like, I would like to come. I came here just mostly because of the practice, because I wanted to practice to just be more open about myself and more social. So that's what I mostly did, and that honestly just like got me here. That honestly let me meet like so much new people, especially here as well. So
Heck yeah. Yeah, it brought up a lot of opportunities to meeting new DJs and a lot of like inspirational people, and also people that are dedicated into like getting themselves to practice as a talented individual, especially in the music scene, because this metaverse does bring in another piece of like, you're making people that are never possibly could never get this in the moment, you know, like could possibly never see this. And you know what, to experience that, your friends as DJs and stuff, it's kind of cool to see that like you are seeing those friends of yours and just seeing that, wow, they just hearing that like they just pulled out a banger and stuff. It took practice, it took something out of their day to get them where they're at. And you know what, that's what it takes to become somebody that you're super influenced on what you want to be. And you know what, you took time out of your day to get where you're at. And you know what's cool about this too is the social skills you get, the persona that you make out of yourself, and you realize that you are making these changes out of people that will personally give you some different kind of feedback. But at the end of the day, you are learning from a standpoint of what is going to make either you a better person in this game, or a better individual that's going to get you, like, maybe you're going through some like tough times of like your social skills, you have anxiety and stuff, and you just need to cope and get yourself into a mix of stuff, and like getting into a lot of, I guess, things in this game that can help you, especially what you can drive to. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's also the fact that one, as well, I grew up in a small town. Two, I've also most like my family, the most amount of the talking I've always I've always like did was just like my older sister, because and she was mostly there, but hardly in the household. We hardly ever talk, especially to my dad, and yeah, my never
Your family,
and
yeah, it's
and I
kind of hard having that. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't. Then again, my mother, I don't really want to explain it, to be honest with you.
No doubt. If there's anything that's revolving around family issues, you know, the only thing you can do is really find a way that you can possibly like find a way to get better at what you can get yourself into. And you know, if they can't help you on learning how to get more sociable, then this is definitely providing the work for you to be better. And, from when you started, I'm guessing there was a big difference with that, because all of us go through that stage of just we all go through that stage. Nobody's alone. We're all here on the same pace. And you know what? Even if you're new or old, or if you have so much experience, or you've never been to places like this before, this is definitely something to help you as well. Either go through life issues, or even to get yourself to leave away from the bad stuff. It's hard to say this, but a lot of us have issues in this game. But it's also something with
Mm-hmm.
was we're leading ourselves to another way of, there's not just IRL stuff. There's also a metaverse that brings you to another platform of, I guess, security, and more people are willing to help. If they really want to, they're willing to do so. And all you got to be is social. Being that social person will get you to get more opportunities to meeting new people, especially like 1Z. And 1Z's been a great friend to me, and they've been a great DJ as well. And anytime they need to go out and stuff, they just DJ. They DJ to get their mind off things. And everyone should go kind of through that, to where learning something or doing something will get you out there to bring your talents or whatever you want to do to this game. It just helps a lot. I've had a lot of experience in this game and opened up a lot of times. But if I were to say this is what was the next question? I think it was you coming to VR, and then the second
Mm-hmm.
one was something about DJing.
Well, what is it? I think it was mostly what got me, what got me.
What brought
I
what
think.
brought you into the DJ scene of VR? How did it start?
Well, well, how did it start? Basically, was I was it was mostly uh I um I started out in the in the drinking type of scene, but that's another topic though.
I think everyone drinks every party they go to, especially in the DJ scene. So you're not alone with
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, yeah, no, but I was just in this one just going to this one world and stuff like that, and just talking to some people, and then all of a sudden this was during the time, even before even before the Twitch streams and stuff like that.
Oh, even before the Twitch streams. Oh man,
They were
before
there. It was
COVID.
yeah. Oh, I don't think it was before COVID. I think it was during the time when um Twitch streams started to become a thing, when
Oh man.
when you have worlds but have an amplifier, and on where
Oh
the actual
man,
mic is, and
he's talking about ancient relic shit. Oh my god,
yeah,
this is definitely what I
yeah.
wanted. Yeah, definitely a lot of
Yeah, it's
stuff too.
they'll have a DJ booth, but then they'll have a certain spot in the world uh that amplifies the mic, and then all they had to do was just DJ through their mic and stuff like that, using
Oh
either
my god.
just having to the during that time, it was mandatory to get uh voice meter. It
Oh
was mandatory to
man,
get voice meter.
that broke my
So
stuff so much. It just sucked. It just
I
sucked.
yeah. Oh yeah, I hated voice meter. But it was it was just also during that time, just having that music amplify, and then later on, Twitch streams started to become more and more of a thing and stuff like that. Whereby it's mostly just live streams of either either their live, their actual camera, and their DJ deck. That way it shows they're actually DJing though.
Yeah.
And then visuals became a thing, and so on and so
So
forth.
just to get it out there, guys, in this kind of persona of what we're talking about, what we're trying to implement is something that is I guess like when you go to a DJ stop, when you go to a DJ venue, you have physical items that get you to where you need to get your DJ set to be perfect. You need to bring a computer so you have the software ready to go. Now imagine this, more software into another program, and hopefully it works out, and pretty much streaming on something else that's going to get you to what you are going to produce your music as a DJ, to give everybody a proper like DJ setup. And now it's just changed from what it was. So now
I feel like it's become a little more easier now. Just
oh, it's
to like
so much more easier.
yeah,
So much more easier.
it's become more easier to now just all you literally have to do is just put in just nowadays and now this time it's just put in the link and bam, and all you have to do is set through OBS. Yeah, set through OBS, set through your CDN, and it's so much easier, and it's better response time as well.
Yeah.
So
oh my god, it's crazy to see that, like how that and how long ago was that when you I guess when you heard everyone going to that old stage of just how it was.
yeah, that was before DJing though. That was like
It was like
because I
17, 18, 19.
that was no, that was 19. Yeah, that was around 19.
2019.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where
It was
started.
crazy.
Yeah, VR chat has been a run to where everybody in this community has started from helping out, and everyone's trying to experience a good time for a long time, not just a short time, but for a very long time, to know that like you have these people that are trying to experience this moment of VR, but also go on a rave scene of virtual reality. Like that's something that's just that's something crazy to me on hearing this stuff, because
It's
you never know.
it's one of those things now that it's gone to that point where like either every weekend there's always something going on.
Always going on with something. It's crazy. It's a little taste of, I guess how do you say this? I never thought that I'd ever be in a game that had to do with like, I guess, social exploring and learning that I've never been to a rave scene in my life. I'm glad that I got a chance to experience it in a virtual reality game, that people kind of just live in the moment in this game. And, might be kind of weird to some people, but, having the experience to have a good time with people that you like 1Z here, it's definitely something that's, it's a very good, heartwarming present that you can experience yourself. I think that's the good time we have right now, unless you had to say more.
Also, there is one other thing too. During the time period, what also got me like just having to like transfer from like one thing to like another, especially from like mostly like rave stuff to more of a chill thing. What got me like more like really more interested was during the time uh the tour of Onumi.
Onumi.
Actually, yeah.
Ooh. Tour
And
Onumi.
yeah, and honestly just having a lot more people just like gather around and actually like vibe with the music and stuff like that, and that's like that also got my inspiration. But also just there's just like and there's just like many things that like I've always wanted to do. It's just I wanted to try out. Every time when I see it, I'm like, this looks very interesting, I want to try this out. And just like challenge myself.
That's awesome. And I'm excited to, man, that Onumi thing sounds really interesting. And if you guys want to hear more about 1Z's if you guys want to hear more about this podcast and continue the conversation we have, check out the Patreon. Be linked below in the description. See you guys later. All right, so we have a little bit more time left. Let's talk about what Anumi is. Talk about just what was your experience of going through that? Like, what was
Well,
that?
um, I was like, okay, it was during the time when I wanted to try out something new, basically. And so I I went to my friend Akiyama Kumiku.
Oh yes, I
Amazing,
love
amazing person,
amazing
amazing
person.
person.
They're so good. They're
The
great.
yeah,
I met them in
honestly,
LA. So
yeah.
person. Yeah, I actually
Oh,
got a chance to meet with Muzz, Luff's wife, and Akiyama K1N and Muzz, and it was such a great experience to see that. Like, wow, like all it took was for me to like took one. Oh, and Juno, of course, and Silent was there as well. Amazing people. I love y'all so much. But took the connections to where I'm at to shout out to Juno. He's a much brother from another mother. He is definitely the homie that I much love and support to give opportunities like that as well. And meeting everyone there was just an experience and a half to see that, and it was so cool. But Akiyama, man, it was just so funny. But continue, continue. It's just
yeah.
it's just funny because like I had a time where I I was like, hey, I'm going down to LA. Juno sends me a location, says, hey, I want you to meet at this place. And I'm like, okay. I start driving and stuff. I start driving. And like I go to this huge mansion. I'm like, oh shit, I'm meeting Muzz. Uh oh shit. Oh shit. And this oh shit, I'm just like, oh my god. And I just see bam, Jake Paul's house. And I'm like, oh my god, this place is huge. And I just see the door just open and I just see like crazy cars just happen to be like just expensive cars I've just never like experienced to be in or roll in, and it was just funny. Oh, and to realize that like I had to still meet everyone, I was like, wait, okay, so there's Juno, there's Muzz. Guys, Muzz is super sick. He's cool. He's chill as hell. So I go inside. I'm meeting everyone, and I was like, hey, Kaida, what's up? And then let's just say this, just to get just straight to the point. It took me a fat minute to know who Akiyama was, Luffs, and just a bunch of other people. And I'm like, these are the homies from VR, bro. Because first off, Juno was like, hey, you're going to go meet with Muzz. And I was like, okay. I don't know who these other people are. I just see Akiyama just all like pretty good looking body. He's pretty. Oh my god, yes, he's cool. But no, it was crazy. It just yeah, Akiyama is definitely a character that I would enjoy to like really just hang out with. He's super sick. But yeah, very lovely
Yeah.
person.
I
But yeah,
mean, well, yeah. I love Akiyama. He's been a great friend and also helped out a lot during basically that one the times and needs and stuff like that. Um it was it was just honestly during the time when I saw like Onubi said, and knowing that when I got into the more music centric type of scene and stuff like that, because usually I was back then I was used to like the more of the drinking like tricky type of scene.
everybody's experienced the drinking stuff and they love it.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
That's what I've been used to, but I wanted to try out something new. So I just went ahead and checked like went to Akiyama, and I'm just like, oh wait, hold on, what's this? Like this feels different, but this feels really good. Like this feels really really good, and I stuck around for the whole thing. I think this was during the time when they were like 7D was hosting the Onumi
Oh
tour.
man,
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah,
Sandy. Yes.
during that time. That was during that time. But but yeah, no, it's during the time, yeah, it was like all it felt like amazing and stuff like that. And then I wanted to know and like I wanted to know more. So it was like one of those things where it's like you tried it once and you're just like, okay, I want more.
Oh
I
yeah,
want
most
more.
definitely.
So I joined one of my other friends, Hysterium, um, and he was at a place called Shelter. So I was so and I went ahead and go like also I felt like the vibe and stuff like that. It felt like also different for me. Just
Oh
felt like
yeah.
something different. And it was just honestly like amazing. It was like another great feeling and I'm just like I want to know more about this.
Hmm.
Until what really like set stone, the one community that really set stone was Heist.
What's Heist? Oh man, Heist.
It
Shout out to
was
Heist, yo.
I gotta shout out to Heist.
No, you're good. The Heist is definitely a show to come through, and Heist is an
they
experience.
it's one of those things where like there's always like even like with like just new people coming around, new people like seeing like new DJs and stuff like that, um honestly, I've like when I went to their like events stuff like that, I also felt really good about like how like the event was and I wanted to like know more, so I stayed with Heist for a bit. Um, yeah, it took a bit to get used to because knowing that coming from transferring from the drinking scene to music centric, until I went ahead and started to chat with some new people um and um also well I think the first couple people I chatted one of them was Tree Sleeper. Shout out to Tree Sleeper.
Hey, there we
Um
go, baby.
yeah. S- and honestly I was like okay, let me uh just um just wanted to go like into more and then until I figured out like she was the next DJ for Heist. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and hang around. So I stayed, also stayed all like mostly through the whole like event and stuff like that, and honestly I just been hooked to it ever since, and just hearing new people, hearing new types of music, hearing new genres, just like that's what got me motivated to be able to um either just like I just used to be like the more of the hype type of stuff, and now I've been like so hooked to the like these new music that I never heard before, that honestly I that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to honestly do.
That's awesome. That's a great. It's definitely an experience to really see that, like, you find your unique group and you realize there's more groups out there, but when you finally feel like you are connected to one group, it feels like a home and it feels like a family. And it brings all of us joy to feel like we're accepted in who we are and we're always learning for what we can. And as a DJ, I would say that that's definitely one of the most like awesome experiences to have in the virtual reality platform and in the meta in VR chat as well. So it's definitely an amazing experience to have, especially for Heist and all like freaking Resumu and 7D and so many others. Like DDVR, like every one of them, I realized that all of them felt like it was
I also
home to me.
I also like what also felt really good. So like just going through all these like music centric type of stuff. Um, I went ahead. Akiyama actually hooked me up to
Hell yeah.
Resumu, where I met Modalon. Honestly,
Hey,
fucking love you.
my
Um, and
yeah.
and and on like they I've then honestly this was like Resumu, during the time when Mo put me on a lineup, that was actually my first like music centric like set,
Yo.
and when I actually DJ'd there, I felt like I was crying because
Oh.
like I felt so good. Like I felt like I was crying with tears of joy because I felt so good. And
So
honestly, I wanted to just this was during that time.
best
This was the spark that
man.
basically wanted to just like
Awesome.
DJ more and stuff like that. Until like I got until I got a mess, and now that I got a message from, oh my gosh, I got a message from Zia,
Yeah.
and saying that, hey, do you want to play for Reflections? And honest and I mean, yeah, that during that time, that was during like
Peak
honestly just
moments.
peak moments for me. That just it was like the beginning. Honestly, it was just
Oh
like
yeah.
I felt like that was like all last year. So like that was during that time when,
Last year, man. Oh my god.
yeah, that was during the like last year. And that's like during the times when I felt like this. I want to make an introduction, just an introduction of myself, just like this is who I am. Like this here, I'm Onesie, and this is who I am. And
Straight.
I've been I've been just, and here's like I've been passionate about it.
Definitely the brand and the label. What it comes to as a DJ, you gotta make it. You gotta make some reason out of it, and you gotta make it wherever you can. And you know what? All of us are here, and all of us are here to experience the best times and to give off our name is one that's in the game for every DJ out there. But I think that sounds like it's gonna be wrapped up right now. It's pretty awesome seeing you again, dude. I appreciate the podcast. I loved your energy. Let's definitely make this a goal to remember. Is Onesie is a character, definitely a great personality. And you know what? I hope you guys do enjoy this. Onesie, you are a truly amazing friend. Appreciate you for coming on the
No
show.
worries. Thank you, Bleach. Thank you.
If you guys do like this podcast, please give me support. If you guys do want to enjoy these DJs coming on my podcast room, please, Virtual Voices Podcast, go support it if you can. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to your friends, especially on Twitter, because it's actually kind of cool seeing people are like actually liking this podcast. So it's pretty good. I hope
Episode
so.
5 coming in soon.
So I'll see you guys later. Yo, Onesie. Later. Get a photo. Let's get a photo. It's awesome. That was a good podcast. I like that.
Oh yeah.